Hey everyone, this is Samantha with a Wealthy Hairstylist YouTube channel, and thanks so much for tuning in. Today's topic, I wanted to discuss why it's important to have an application for a client to fill out if you are providing a high-end hair service. I feel this is huge with saving so much time wasted within the salon. And I feel having an application process weeds out clients who are really serious versus clients who are not. So within an application process, you could go through a variety of companies to create your own form, or you could even use Google if you have a Gmail account, and you could create your own form through Google for free. So I have used this platform most recently and it's been great. So I could kind of design my own questionnaire for new clients that are coming to see me in the salon. And for me, my high-end service that I offer is hair extensions. So I think the biggest thing, first off, for having an application process for a new client to sit in your chair is one, it's going to weed out someone who is serious versus someone who is not. If someone's going to be spending quite a bit of money with you for their hair services, you bet they are going to be taking their time and their research to understand what it is you specialize in. And they look at your work and your reviews. So by the time they're done filling out the application process to be able to sit in your chair, you better bet that that client is 100% clear on the direction of where things are going to be going with their services. So the biggest part with an application process for me is it saves on time. I already have my applications preloaded with questions that I need to know from my potential client, where their hair is and what their hair goals are and their color history, the length of their hair, their density, and the goals of what they are wanting. And it helps me understand if it is even realistic to achieve these goals for the client. And B, it allows me to see if they are even a candidate for the services that I offer. So this helps save time, not wasted in the salon. And yes, I still do in-person consultations, but I feel like this kind of speeds the process up so that way a client can get booked and on my schedule, and I already know going into the appointment what their hair looks like, what their length is, what their hair goals are, what the hair color they want, the length of extensions they want. I already know if they're a candidate for 1 row versus 2 row, their natural texture of their hair, their previous damage or color history. So all these questions you could add to your application, which will help you, the stylist, understand the client and not waste time evaluating the client's hair while they're in your chair. Another thing with applications, it gets right to the point. So within my application process, I am very, very clear about all my service pricing. So I never have a client who comes as a new client and sits into my chair and they do not know what they are going to be paying at the end of their service. So everything is very clear for the first install for a new extension client, the maintenance and the upkeep pricing for their bump ups for their extensions and their color services. So I have package offers for maintenance appointments. So everything is very clear within the application form. So that not only are they aware of the initial expense when they're going to sit in my chair, they are also aware of what they will be spending at future appointments to come back and see me. Another thing that's really great with applications is policies. So it's very, very important when clients are spending a good amount of money to sit in your chair and to have services done, that you have policies in place regarding their hair and if their hair really is what it is, and regarding late policies, cancellation policies, refund policies. So everything within this application needs to be very clear and very precise. So that way the client comes into the service knowing all the options and is very clear about you and the services that you offer, the guidelines to everything, and how you expect the whole process to go. Like you obviously want to take care of your client and give them the best experience possible. But in return, you want the client to also understand the process. I think that is such a big thing when I have a new client that sits into my chair. Sometimes it's not a one-shot deal and your hair is going to be perfect when you see me. So some people, it's a process. So it's being very clear about the process, the expectations, the goals, the expense, and the maintenance and the upkeep and the policies. So all of this needs to be very clear within the application form. So these are the biggest tips that I could give to recommend to stylists who are offering a high-end service. I definitely think this is such a good way to streamline your services, and it also keeps everything organized. It's so hard when people text you all the time or you get phone calls or sticky notes and messages. It's so nice when you have the application and I can keep folders within my computer system about new inquiries, people who've paid for invoices or paid retainer fees for deposits to sit into my chair. So there's a whole process to it. And I think if anything, it makes you look a little bit more high end. And like I said, the biggest thing is having clarification with the client, understanding the process and the expense of everything. The last thing you need is somebody to be blindsided, sitting in your chair, and then they have a big bill in front of them. So applications are huge for a very high-end service that you could be offering for your hair clients. So I hope this has helped you. Please click like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you back at A Wealthy Hairstylist soon. Thanks so much, guys.